Good morning. Welcome to the daily levels for Friday, May 10. It's 8:40 a.m. Eastern. So after the market closes, we'll come back to this chart, take a look at if any trades happened in the E-minis, if the spiders hit these levels. And as we're closing this up at 8:45 a.m., in the pre-market, the spiders are at 521.55 and presumably climbing. We'll see you after the market closes.
It is now Saturday, 1:30 p.m. or so. I was traveling yesterday afternoon and just not really able to make this video until now. So clearly the spiders never got down to 515.30 or below it, so that weekly breakdown candle could be invalidated at this point. Also, by the way, I'm using a different microphone, obviously a different setup, so hopefully you won't hear any distracting noises in the background. But let's take a look at the one level the spiders liked and bounced off of it. So this was the first trade, pretty obvious. It really would have been the only trade playing by the rules for a good base hit. I tried to trail more up, and what you'll see when the spiders are coming up into this level, I'm really excited about selling here because I knew this was going to be a very good area of overhead resistance, and I thought maybe I could pull this down a lot farther, especially since there was a 10 o'clock announcement on the schedule, which I don't think I mentioned in the Friday morning video, but nonetheless, that didn't pan out. They never got that high. When we watch the recording, you can see what I had in mind there. And at this point, I still thought they might have the energy to come up here and satisfy this, so I wanted to trail it higher, but they stopped me out and just got a base hit. And then I did something I don't normally do after noticing they could not get back above here. Looked like they were going to maybe fall farther. I went short again on the recycle. Not this first time, I think it was over here. Yeah, it's probably about right, about 2 o'clock or so, just for just a few points. I was going to grab a couple points with multiple contracts. So you'll see that trade. So the first thing I want you to notice is as they're coming up into this area, which is the middle of a pretty important zone, I decided just to put some limit orders if they were to spike up at the 10 o'clock announcement. So you'll see what happens at 10 o'clock. They ended up falling away, so I never even got to a couple. I was thinking maybe kind of cool if I can get 2 or 4 or so contracts and just pull them back with a quick base hit, because I had a pretty good feeling they were going to fall at 10 o'clock. So just keep an eye on the clock in the lower right hand corner, and notice that that's about as high as they got. So when the 10 o'clock data release, I keep saying announcement, I think just some type of data released, and that typically moves the market a little bit, especially when they're in an important area and there's probably some uncertainty about who's going to prevail at that area. Well, in this case, the bears took over for the most part at this data release timing. So they never went up and grabbed the low. I guess it's taken a lot longer than I should have just let this scrubbed ahead here a little bit. But as you can see, they looked like they were pretty weak, so I just ended up closing out or canceling those limit orders on the chart and started focusing on the next level down at 520.72. So maybe I'll scrub ahead, and you see when they get down there, it's just a pretty simple base hit. Here we go. So I'll let it play from here, and these are my fumble threshold and profit target reference lines on the spider chart. And at one point, I decided instead of selling the 2 contracts that I was long at this point, I would just sell 1 and close out half the position and trail the other half up, and didn't really pan. I think I just broke even on it. Would have been better probably just to take the base hit. They tend to work more often than not, and I've said this before, but a lot of movement today. I just thought, well, I had the potential of having a lot of movement this morning. I thought maybe I could trail it up for some more. So let's scrub ahead. Here we go. So now I'm going to sell 1 contract and trail the other. And I think they pulled it a little bit, but when it came down, there's my target. I thought, well, if they go all the way up here, I'll just jump out there on that trailing position. So they bring me up to break even on the remaining contract. I think it's right there. Then come back and stop me out. So essentially, it was just a base hit, nothing more. So this next trade I want to show you is something I don't normally do that often, but what you see here is jumped ahead. Now it's almost 2 o'clock. They had already tried to get above this level from the underside. So when they were up at it again, I just kind of made a quick judgment call and decided to sell 4 contracts just at the market. Just clicked, thought I can grab a couple points, which would be worth, a decent little amount of money with, I think that's 2.5 points there with 4 contracts. And then once again, I thought, well, I'll just take 3 and trail the other one down if they go farther. And I think they won a tick or so on that remaining contract. So once again, probably would have been better just to take the $500 at the 2.5 points. But anyway, it still worked. So got 3 contracts bought back and then trailing the other one, and they're pretty much a tick in the green at this point. That's where they were when I got stopped out. So a handful of points more than a base hit just by kind of playing around, doing something a little bit atypical than what I used to do. And they still fought that level for a while. I stopped recording. This recording stops pretty much right here. So once again, first base hit here, and I went short here, kind of on a recycle the second time they came back up into it. Over on the log, here's the 1 base hit, playing by the rules. Moved to this next log, got the base hit, and a few more points on the recycle of that same level for a few additional points, a few additional dollars. It was right under $600 because you saw what I did. It was 4 contracts to 1, but just a couple points off. Anyway, belaboring the point, that wraps it up for the day and for the week, and we are still above these, well, not above that zone important area, but definitely above the high of that weekly breakdown candle. So not necessarily bearish news. See what happens next week. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend.